again. I forgot to record the other one. 9:04:49. Okay, we're sitting at 650. We have a liquidity event up from 6 down to 5. The profile thickens up here. 155 trades, sell side. The queue is kind of empty. I can only eyeball it, but 111, 103 compared to 102, 155. That's good for me. And so, because there's an absence of liquidity there, I go long and expect price to shoot up or the queue to pull for it to move up on low volume against those traders who got out there at '06. And so I take that for 3 ticks. And then we're at the volume point of control and buyers start to get absorbed. I think I closed it too early because you can see the market pull there for 3 ticks and then populate again at '08. This is a short. I caught the tail end of this auction at '08, which is a which is a shelling point. I've mentioned that already. 97, 47, 49, '08, 25 absorbed, 52, right, 98. What I'm watching here is how much buyers are piling in, how much of them are being absorbed by present and passive liquidity. They don't pull. They're comfortable absorbing 38, 98, and 117 on the bid, and then leaving the ask queue empty. And because the ask queue is empty, there's nobody to trade against. I got lucky. They stopped the tick away from my exit, and I got in early off of the first absorption on '08. I held the trade and I didn't scratch, even though it went against me because I kind of believed or I felt strongly that the trade was going to win because there were only buyers there and there weren't sellers, and so there was nobody to trade against. '04, '06, 19. 775 now. Same short. Lack of liquidity from buyers. I mentioned that this is an alright setup. Did I go short? Why did I do that? Okay, we're gonna go back. 73 absorbed at '08. That's why. 91 absorbed now. The Q pulls a little bit. Down ticking 40, 33, 22, 51, 52, 98, 62. Right. 37, 74, 85. 106. We are visibly, even though I previously read this as an auction between buyers and sellers, we are visibly absorbing buyers more than we are sellers. There's also a 62 in the queue. It's 0725. Did I? This is the right tape, right? 0307, 905. Okay, 906. 0906. Yeah, that was the trade I just went over. 0906, 12, 911 is what we're on. See the 115 at 5? That's what I'm trading against. There's liquidity downside. Upside 525, there's not. It's just low prints. Buyers begin to tick up there. 31 gets absorbed. Liquidity pulls for a second. It refreshes. 52. Sellers aren't willing to hit lower. They're getting absorbed. They hit lower a bit, but they're immediately absorbed. 25, 71. And then buyers begin to attack. 42 and 10. 31, 11, 6. I chase. The Q pulls. The Q pulls again. And sellers can't even replenish up at 0675 and 07. They all disappeared down at 5 even. Nine 1605. This is what I'm talking about. We're gonna watch the whole auction. Yeah. Okay. Was that fast? Okay, it was in a liquid pull. Uh, off of those people getting blown out. Sellers at the bottom. Basic reversion. Value is holding higher at VPOC, which is a weak indicator, but it's still an indicator nonetheless of bullishness because we're holding above 675. As I say that, it reverts, but who cares? We came off 650. The auction dried up at 6. I have to watch it again because I wasn't paying attention. 625, 9, 13, 4. They pulled two ticks, 750, 725. There's an auction there now. 43 is rewarded at 8. Bid side. Seller steps in at 19. Buyers dry up 825. It starts to thicken up there. There's enough fuel for a move to the upside, but buyers tire out. Okay, now we have an auction. from 7 to 825 is what I'm watching here, and the reason I placed the trade is because it's a 7 tick spread there of orders, and they're sitting above volume point of control at 7 even. So they just keep hitting orders in, and price is sitting there. I think there's a good chance that it can break out, even though there's no directional order flow to trade against. It was a time-based trade, and I was actually wrong. So I'm going to make note of that. I'll write it on my phone because I don't have my browser open. Time-based value trade port. I'll just say it all right now and then summarize the transcript. So we're off 7 even. The high is the Schelling point 825, and there's an auction in between it. There's no directional order flow to trade against, really, and I punted along there because value was holding between 7 even and 850. I took that as an indication that the auction was shifting higher, though it should be noted there were people to trade against up at 850 as 49 was left out to dry buy side, and only 14 traded sell side, even though there was a 50 at 0825. There really wasn't much on flow. Somebody was absorbed at 875. The queue thickened up. It was responsive, and there was real liquidity there that pushed price down. I think buyers just ran out. I'm going to narrate the reaction here. 750 to 54, 53 at 750 trades. We're just doing standard reversion here. The Q pulls, there was a 9 at 725 and it disappeared. It pulled for 2 ticks at 725 and 7 even. It previously pulled at VPOC there too. There's an auction now. Price is sitting lower, value's sitting lower. 0650, it's sitting there. That's an indication of price moving lower. It's not lifting. The offer is not lifting. The bids are getting hit, for lack of a better word. You can see liquidity pull again at 0625 and 06 even for a 2 tick spread before somebody gets absorbed at 575. And then we're back into the distribution. So there's 4 ticks total of market makers pulling orders, and that's 725, 7 even, 0625, and 06. And this probably it's controlled selling. Buyers show up at VPOC pretty well. You see the 60 and 67, and they fueled the move down. It's interesting to see like one-sided directional selling after the auction up there. So there, I suppose there's just aggressive selling, and all the buyers up there who wanted breakouts got absorbed or were just facilitating trade. think I have anything else. 91605. We'll try that. Okay. No, I don't.